Hello, this is Timothy with Affinity for Games. Today we're actually going to be playing another video of Star Realms, and my opponent is going to be Quehegan, who has his own YouTube channel, which is pOedGamer. And I'm going to go ahead and start the game and get everything underway. That way we can get this to you as soon as possible. So with Star Realms, if you're the first player, you only get 3 cards instead of 5 like you normally would. And this is a pretty simple choice for me. I'm going to go ahead and start out by taking the Cutter. And then I'm just going to pass the turn, even though I had a 3 trade. I could have bought the Realm, which is another spectacular card. But the Cutter overall, it does so much. It does 3 different things. It's kind of like casting a Charm in Magic the Gathering or something, where it gives you 4 life, 2 money to actually buy stuff. And if you play another blue card, you get 4 military power. It's just a spectacular card. And I pass the turn to Rodney, so he can now buy pretty much any good card that he wants.
Yeah, 3 cards here that are insane. Well, the Ram, Freighter, and the Stealth Needle. The Stealth Needle is one of those cards that early game it's not very useful because you're basically copying a Scout or a Viper, but late game it's a game winner for you. So that's one of those cards. Right now I don't need it, so like I have no idea if I'm actually what I mean. It's also a good card because it doesn't matter what color you go into, it copies a card of that same color. So if you have 2 Rams, that's 14 damage that you would deal, just because of Stealth Needle and a Ram. So it's crazy. So I'm going to buy that and just deal my 1 point of damage. End my turn.
Yeah. It's also still pretty nice for buying the Stealth Needle, and whenever you do play something and copy it, because it is still a red card and it becomes another color as well, such as like green or yellow or whatever. So it can still trigger other red cards being played. So that's definitely a nice little feature of it, and unfortunately my hand sucks. So what I'm going to buy now is the Realm, which is definitely a good card, but it's not the cards that I wanted.
Yeah, the Ram is a really good one. Oh man. Okay, Imperial Fighter is an awesome card for 1, and so there's 3 cards here. I want the Missile Bot, I want the Imperial Fighter, and I want the Freighter. But the Freighter, where it gives you 4 gold, I don't think I can pass that up, because getting that early game is insane because it allows me to just buy almost anything I want. And the Fleet HQ, it gets me so close to buying that. But there's a battle mech came up, and that's a really good card also, because it deals so much damage when it comes out. And if you have another red card, you actually can draw a card off of it. But oh shoot, I almost forgot to deal my damage. I'm glad that's one thing I'm glad about this game. If there's something that you can do, it actually warns you if you hit the end turn button.
Yeah, that is a lot nicer than like how the Ascension app is set up, where like you just hit play all and it immediately throws everything out. If there is a decision to be made, like if Missile Bot is in your hand, for example, then it's going to tell you to play Missile Bot first before it throws out the rest of your hand. But for the most part, the order in which you play cards doesn't matter, because the synergistic ability is triggered whenever you play another ally, and it's actually an ally ability is what it's called in this game.
There's only one card really I've found that matters. It's the blue one that gives you 2, and you may put a card on top of your deck. The next one you buy. I can't remember what the name of that base is.
Oh, the one that costs 7?
I think it
that
costs
gives you 2 trade every turn, and you put the next ship on top of your deck, and then when you play a blue card, then you get to draw one.
Yes. That one,
Yeah.
that's the only card I've really seen that makes it really matter the order you play things in, because you'll want to play your trade value cards first, and not a blue one, and then put something on top of your deck, and then try to play a card that allows you to draw, or a blue card so that you can draw that card you just put on top of your deck. But other than that, like Tim said, there's not really much of a difference in the order you play your cards in.
There's some other cards. One that comes to mind is Embassy Yacht. So if you throw out all your cards and you don't play your bases first, and you play Embassy Yacht first, and then you lay down 2 different bases, then you don't get to draw cards. So there's definitely a few of them. And what's annoying about the app here is basically if you have something, because you get to trigger this when you want, as what I've read on like the frequently asked questions and everything, the synergy for the hive. So like if you played another green card, you get to activate the draw a card ability whenever you want in your actual turn. But in the app, it just automatically does it for you. So it kind of screws you over in some ways. So like if you use the freighter along with the cutter, you can put a ship on top of your deck. But if you played something that makes you just automatically draw cards, then it can screw up the order, and you don't get to do that first. That's not the best example, but we might see it a little bit later in the game.
Okay. Yeah, like here, this is the stealth needle. I just played it, and I had to copy. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. When you actually right-click on the stealth needle, the card that it's copying actually comes up, and not the stealth needle. I didn't realize that. Okay, but I'm
Huh.
actually
Doesn't do that in the Android version.
um
Maybe I just haven't paid attention to it.
well, the thing is, the stealth needle doesn't always come up every game, and generally when I copy something, I know what I click on the card I'm copying and not the stealth needle because I want to know what it does. But I'm actually going to buy the space station because something that Tim actually showed me is actually if you have 2 stations of the same color, like was it War Machine or War World or something like that. There's 2 of them that like
Yeah,
he had those 2 out, and just every turn was dealing me like 10 damage just because those 2 bases were out, and I was like, oh god. I mean, because it's hard to keep them destroyed because when you have those 2 cards out, they, especially early game, they cycle around so quickly, and I can never get 5 trade. And I should not be saying that while it's his turn.
There's some tough decisions. I've gotten some pretty mediocre draws of not being able to get any trade whatsoever going on in the very beginning.
I think we're both running into that right now.
Well, I don't really think so. You've gotten the freighter, and you also got the space station and Self Needle. So
True.
I don't really want to hear it from you, buddy.
I'm still going to claim that you got to remember, I got to have an excuse if I lose. Like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't get anything beginning of the game.
Something else is that you really don't want to go into every single color, because the more you play of a certain color, the more synergistics it's going to be. And I already have 3 different colors going on. I got blue, red, and green. This yellow card is pretty good, the Imperial Fighter. Uh, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Explorer and try to get some trade action going on for me. Because he's probably got the freighter this turn, and he's probably buying green yellow.
Yeah, I wish I had the freighter this turn, but I do not.
Excellent.
Alright. Oh, no!
That sounds good. I like the sound of that.
And no again. Oh, that sucks so bad. You'll see what I'm talking about. I just bought 2 cards. I bought the fighter and the trading post. So what comes up when I buy the trading post? A cutter. And what comes up when I buy the fighter? War World. So that means you're going to buy some great cards this turn.
And I have exactly 7 in my hand.
Oh.
Definitely going to buy the cutter. War World is spectacular. I really don't want him to have that and the space station. That combo is pretty backbreaking.
It is a yeah. So like the space station deals 4 damage if you have with both of them together, and with the war world, so that's 7. That's 11 damage just by those 2 cards having them out at the same time. Oh man.
So
Oh,
I ended up taking the War World, and I really just don't think that I can give that to him. Because, I mean, they're outposts as well, so they're even harder to get rid of.
oh. See, this is the hard decision here because I can buy the Fleet HQ, or I could buy the Battle Blob, which is an insane card also. But I think I'm going to have to buy the Fleet HQ because it's just, I mean, I can use it multiple turns and it's hard to destroy. Just because it deals 8, it takes 8 to kill it.
Come on, Missile Mech pop up.
Okay, but I'm still going to buy that one. You will not believe it. A missile mech came up. But so did a space station.
Oh no, my battery's running low.
So depending on what he buys this turn, really is going to dictate how I play the rest of this game. I mean, the missile mech is just one of those cards that's just, it's very damaging because you can destroy anybody's base outright and deal them 6 damage, because late games generally like you get like, oh, I'm at 5 life but I have 3 bases, and with the missile mech you can just completely get rid of one of them. Yep, and he took it. Alright, so I am going to, I wish I just had one more. I would actually buy the Battle Blob, but I'm buying the space station, and wouldn't you know that Brain World would come up. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to end my turn and hope that some... Oh.
Oops. Dropped the glass. Yep, I just dropped a glass. Friggin' modular table. Try to move it out.